Welcome to today's lesson, and in today's lesson I'm going to be talking to you about the introduction to digital marketing, and in this lesson I'm going to explain to you what digital marketing is. You're also going to understand the ACE methodology as well as the 5 principles that guide digital marketing success, right? So first thing first, why don't we define what digital marketing is? Digital marketing basically is building a system that generates lifetime demand and loyalty for your brand, for your products, your services as well, using digital channels. So what this basically means is that you're using digital channels such as social media, Facebook, Instagram, search engine optimization, online advertising, email marketing to communicate the value of your products and services to your potential or your target audience, and an effort for them to convert as customers, and also to drive in retention as well, because you need to build lifetime demand and loyalty for your brand. So in order to drive in retention, which retention basically means driving new, returning and repeated customers into your referral customers into your business. You want to first of all attract people. The second thing you want to do is you want to convert those people either to customers or to sales leads or to sales inquiries, so people that are actually interested in your business. So it's either they buy from you or they convert as interested people into your business. And then after you do that, you want to now engage them. So the people that don't buy from you, you engage them to become new customers. Now the people that have bought from you, you also engage them to buy from you again, to have repeat purchases with you or to buy something new from you as well. Then you also want to use them also to get or to become your brand advocate, to drive in more referrals and more new customers for you through referrals. Now that process itself is when you engage your customers and your potential customers into driving new and returning and referral customers to you. So the ACE methodology is basically, the A stands for to attracting the right people. The C stands for converting the right people into customers or interested customers. And then the E, which basically means you need to engage them in order to drive returning and referral customers, and as well as new customers as well. Now, after you do that, you need to understand that for every business, there are 3 key important metrics that are very, very essential to them. So no matter what, if you become a digital marketer tomorrow, if a business tells you, oh, I just want to grow my social media likes and everything, what really, really matters to them is just these 3 metrics. And number 1 is they care about the amount of customers that they have. So they care about the numbers of customers that you are able to get for them. Now, after that, the next thing that they care about is the amount, their average order value. So which basically means when someone orders for them, is the value of an higher value or a lower value. So they won't always increase the average order value. Then the last thing is how many customers are coming back, or how many customers are driving some form of retention sales for them as well. And those are the 3 major key metrics that they care about. And as I always explain to a lot of my students, is that the ACE methodology allows you to solve these 3 metrics. So if you are able to attract the right set of people to your business, and you are able to convert them to buy your products and services, then automatically you're increasing the numbers of customers that you have. So the more people you're able to attract and convert increases the numbers of customers that you have. Now, the amount of people that you're able to attract and engage, you're able to attract, convert, and engage increases your order value. So that means if a customer buys from you today, and in the process of buying from you, you sell something else to the person. So if the person was supposed to buy something of 100,000, the person end up buying something of 150,000, then you've automatically increased the order value. And that's because when the person is about to buy the 100,000, you've also sold something of 50,000 to the person alongside, and the person sees the value in it. And that only happens when you're able to attract, you're able to convert that person, you're able to engage the person with the 2 offers that you have, and then the person is able to go for the 2 offers. Now the last thing is the amount of repeat purchases and referral purchases that you get. Now that also is influenced by the ACE methodology, which is basically when you attract the right set of people to your business, you convert them into actual customers, and you engage them. In the process of engaging them, they would always advocate your brand or refer you to other people. And I always tell people this a lot, is that imagine if your potential customers or someone that have bought from you before. Okay, now let's look at this. Imagine if someone that has bought from you before is in a conversation with someone else that needs your service. But because you've not been engaged with the person, you've not kept in communication with the person goes ahead to refer somebody else to that person instead of your business, automatically you've lost the business. And that's the reason why when you engage, when you keep in touch with your potential customers and people that have converted to your customers before, it becomes easier for you to drive retention. And don't forget that your best customers or the best people to talk about your product and services are people that have actually experienced it before. They can sell it much better, and it's much more it's more cost effective for you to drive retention than to acquire more people. And so that's the reason why the ACE methodology is such a powerful model that you need to take advantage of. And in the process of you taking this course, you're going to be able to understand how to actually take good advantage of the ACE methodology, which is basically to attract, to convert, and to engage. Now, basically, let me just ask you a very, very simple question. If you're going to sell a bottle of water for 1 million naira, what would you do? Well, my guess is that you're going to think about the value, because it's all about value. What is the value that bottle of water is going to present for the potential customers that is going to make the person be able to say, oh, I'm going to pay 1 million naira for this bottle of water? And then, well, in two scenarios where I've actually played this out, either speaking at a conference or on a live training, what people have said is that they've said that for you to sell the bottle of water, it has to have some form of value that probably exceeds the actual amount. And an example, a practical example would be a rich man in the desert that needs water and does not have any other place to get water. At that particular place, there's a value in you having that bottle of water and being able to sell it at 1 million naira for that particular person. You could also look at it from the scenario of someone that is not feeling fine, someone that is sick, and you having a bottle of water that can solve the person's illness. Automatically, the person is probably going to be able to place a value of 1 million naira on that stuff. Now, I'm not saying you should use all those scenarios, but what I'm trying to let you understand is that for people to buy from you, they only buy value from you. And what people buy from you it's the value, and the value itself is the outcome that they are supposed to receive from buying from you. And what that basically means is that if I want to buy a laptop today, right? I'm not going to buy the laptop not just because of the features that are in the laptop. I'm going to buy the laptop for what the laptop is going to do for me afterwards. So if I'm going to buy a laptop, I'm going to buy a laptop based on what I want to use it for, which is the outcome of what I want to use it for. And that takes me to explaining what we actually mean by the before and the after states that someone is. So when someone wants to buy from you, what the person is actually buying is the after state. So the person is in a state which is what we refer to as the before state, and the person desires to go to a state which is what we refer to as the after state, right? And so what that basically means is that you're trying to move the person from a point A to a point B. So let me just try to illustrate this for you. So assuming this is you at this state, so this is the before state, right? And at this state, this is the after state, right? Now, your goal in marketing is that you need to understand who your potential customer is, which is this guy, yeah? And what you now want to do here is that you want to understand what is his desire or what is his desirable outcome. So you want to understand what this guy at this particular point would want to feel after he purchases your product or your service, right? And that in itself is your power and your weapon when it comes to digital marketing. Because the way, as much as possible, of the way you are able to communicate the value, the way you are able to articulate or communicate the value to the person, that the person is going to move from where he is right now to his desirable state, is what is going to make that person actually want to buy from you. Okay, so now let's look at the 5 principles that guide digital marketing success, right? And so the first principle basically is you need to have a strategic plan. So before you start a digital marketing campaign, you need to first of all define who your customers are. You need to have what we call the customer avatar in place. Understanding what your customers are, who your customers are, you need to also understand how you're going to get across to that customer, so how you plan to attract those customers, and then you want to know how you're going to convert those customers. So you want to have an overall strategy of you want to have an overall strategy on how the campaign is going to go, from the how to the what and to when Also, when is a very, very essential part when it comes to digital marketing. You need to know the right timing, the state of awareness the person is. So assuming you're trying to target a particular customer that is in a stage of awareness where the person knows that he needs this product, then it becomes much easier for you to sell to that kind of person. So the way you also approach someone that does not know that he needs your products and services is different. And that is when that's how you tackle the when of how it is, of when you need to what they call it, promote or advertise your business and services to that particular customer. So the first thing you really want to do is you need to understand that you need to have a strategy in place, and the strategy must include who your customers are, how you're going to attack, how you're going to go after those customers, how you're going to attract those customers. Should also include when and what's the best time that you're going to use to attract those customers and convert those customers into actual customers, and how you're going to engage, nurture those customers into actual customers. So you need to ensure that you have an overall strategy, which you're going to cover. We're going to cover this in the strategy and planning lesson module of this training. And so now let's move on to the second principle. The second principle is you need to always think long term with a KPI. Don't forget that the goal of your digital marketing is to build lifetime demand and loyalty. And the only way to build lifetime demand is by you thinking long term. And an example of this is basically if you think long term. So search engine optimization is a long term activity. And so if you think long term, it means that you're going to start ranking for keywords that are relevant to your business. Now, a keyword is basically what a potential customer will go on Google or any other search engine to go and search for. And then when they go and search for it and then they find you. Now, the process of being organically on top or being on the search engine result is a long-term strategy. And in order for you to, and once you do that, once you are on top on search engine, then you enjoy what we call loyalty demand, because then you automatically, people that are looking for your service that are in the stage of when they know that they want to buy your products and services would always find you as a result of that. That can only happen when you think long term. The other thing also is that you can take the scenario of a boyfriend and a girlfriend. When you meet a girl for the first time, you can't just go straight to her and tell her that will you marry me, right? You have to think of the long term. You have to take it through processes. So the first thing you ask her is, will she go out on a date with you? And then from there, you want to go for multiple dates before you become boyfriend and girlfriend. Then you become engaged. Then you get to marriage, and then forever after. And that's the same thing. That's the same way marketing works as well. So you're looking at a lot of people that are interested in your business. You're trying to convert some in the immediate, right? But you're trying to keep in constant relationship by engaging them for the long term, and then they start converting. Now, a particular industry that uses this very well is the music industry. What they do in the music industry is that they try to build a fan base, and now this fan base might not necessarily buy from them, but they now start entertaining the fan base, their fan base with a lot of musical or videos or movies and things like that. And then after a while, they now release one new video or one new music, and then they now tell you, come and buy the album of the whole thing. But don't forget, you've been listening to, they've been engaging you with some of their music, some of their videos and things like that. But all of a sudden, when they have the one they want to sell, you find they need to buy it. And that's because they've thought long term, they've engaged you, they've built a massive audience of people, and then they're now selling to that particular audience. So that's one of the reasons why it's important for you to think long term. And now what I'm now also telling you is that don't just think long term, you have to think long term with a KPI. And the idea behind it is that a KPI means key performance indicator. So that means you have to have metrics that you watch for when you're trying to think long term. So an example is this. For example, you're trying to say, okay, you know what, I need to grow my potential customers to 10,000 businesses at the end of 3 months, right? You want to understand that your key performance indicator is to grow your business, your potential customers to 10,000 at the end of 3 months. But you need to also divide that key performance indicator to small chunks on a monthly basis. So on a month, so the first month, if you know that you don't meet the expected number of potential customers that you're supposed to have in your funnel, then you need to go back to optimize that, whatever your marketing campaign, in order to ensure that your marketing campaign is able to deliver the result at the end of the day. So you need to ensure that, although I'm telling you think long term, you need to also understand that you should have things that you're measuring on a day-to-day basis, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, that aligns to the goal that you want to achieve after a while. But to win in digital marketing, you have to think long term. To drive lifetime demand and loyalty, you have to think long term. This is where a lot of businesses fail to do, and that's the reason why a lot of businesses focus a lot on acquisition when it comes to digital marketing and forget about retention. Now, the third principle that you want to also know about is that you need to help before you sell to people. So now, gone are the days where you try to just sell. Now, what you need to also understand is that you're actually selling to human beings and you're selling to people. And now, people in general sense don't like it when you are too demanding from them, right? It happens in relationship also when a lot of breakup happens because the boyfriend is either too demanding of the girlfriend or the girlfriend is too demanding of the boyfriend and things like that. And marketing to a large extent is like relationship, right? A very simple example also is assuming you have a relative that every time he calls you, the first thing he does is he asks you for money. After a while, you will start ignoring his phone calls because you don't want him to continually ask you for money, right? But if the guy calls you every single time and he asks you, what can I do for you? Can I help you do this and things like that? The day he calls you and he asks you for money, you'll find the need to give him even times 2 or times 3 of the amount of money he has asked for. And that just basically tells us that it's very important for us to help people before we sell to them. And a very simple way to help people is tell people, explain how your product will take them to the after state, which is basically explain how your product is going to drive the value for them. So an example is this. So assuming I'm selling a projector, right? And my own projector apparently does not radiate heat. Obviously, we know that projectors actually send heat out of it, right? And so my own projector does not radiate heat. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to explain to people by helping them to make a decision to tell them that, oh, in this projector, it contains this kind of technology that does not allow the projector to radiate heat. Automatically, it sounds more value to the person. And so if you are someone, for example, that now needs a projector, you can see the need of buying my projector because you now understand the technology that guides it. You get what I'm saying? From it not being able to radiate it when you're using it. And that's a very simple example. Another thing also is that assuming you want to sell a phone also, you're better off explaining to people, helping them to understand the features of the phone, and then they are more willing to buy the phone because you are helping them and you're letting them understand that they are going to get the desired value that they are supposed to get. Even when you're selling consulting services or intangible services as well, you still need to explain to people, you need to teach them on how your service is going to help them out. So for example, let's say I want to sell a Facebook course, for example, and I go ahead and I say that, okay, you know what, do you know that Facebook can help your business grow in such ways? You can use Facebook to retarget people that have come to your website before, and you can do this and you can do that and you can do this. Now I'm helping them to understand the potentials of how Facebook is going to help their business, and as a result of that, they are more happy to say, okay, you know what, let me learn from this guy, or let me pay this person because he's been able to tell me what exactly Facebook is going to do, and he's also been able to show me how those things are actually going to help me to achieve my after states, right? Which is the value itself, which is the value you need. So it's very, very important that you help before you sell to people. Okay, now let's go to number 4, which is driving relevant traffic. Now it's very, very important for you to understand that one of the most key things in digital marketing is being able to drive relevant traffic. Traffic itself is very, very easy to do. It's very easy for you to drive traffic, but the most difficult part is actually ensuring that that traffic is relevant. And the reason why that's the most important thing is because no matter how well your website is built, no matter how well your email or your nurturing channels are going to be, if the wrong people are coming to your business, then automatically you're not going to sell anything to them. You're not going to be able to sell. So it's just, for example, just like you trying to sit down about 100 people in a place and then talking to them, but the truth of the matter is that those 100 people don't even care about your business or don't care about your products and services, and as a result that means that you're not even going to be able to sell anything in the first place. So driving quality traffic actually has a very, very important role to play in digital marketing to decide whether you're going to have a good conversion or you're not going to have a good conversion at the end of the day. So if the traffic is wrong, then automatically you won't be able to drive any particular you won't be able to drive any good results, to be honest with you. Now the fifth one is that you need to always have a winning offer. You need to always have your offer backed with a selling point. What this basically means is that you need to ensure that when you are trying to give someone an offer, you reinstate. So for example, I can sit down with you for 1 hour and tell you how awesome a particular product and service is, and then the next thing you do is, okay, how much does it cost? And I go ahead and I tell you that, oh, it costs 1 million. The next thing you're like, 1 million, and every other thing that I've said to you for the past 1 hour already becomes, it doesn't mean anything at that particular point in time. So but if I go ahead and I tell you, okay, this thing costs 1 million naira, and I reinstate the value that goes with the 1 million naira, peradventure you will be able to understand why the value is of 1 million naira, and then you most likely will be able to buy it at that particular point in time. I hope you understand the 5 principles that guide digital marketing success. And so in conclusion of this particular lesson, I'm just going to let you understand that digital marketing is basically using digital channels to communicate the value of your products and services, and using that opportunity to drive lifetime demand and loyal customers for your business or your products and services as well. So in the next lesson, I'm going to be talking about the potentials that digital marketing has to offer. And so I hope you would enjoy that lesson, and see you in the next lesson.
I heard